Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. My name is Kristen. Today's video is the May Ascension Energy Report. But before I get started, I just want to let everyone know that I am okay. The previous video that I posted was about the toxic mold that was found in my apartment. And on the Libra full moon, April 19th, I left my apartment and I moved into a hotel. Currently things are, they are up in the air right now. We are in the process, and when I say we, I mean the management company, the insurance company, the mold remediation company. We are in the process of figuring out the next steps for my apartment. But in the meantime, I am safe and sound in a residence hotel about 30 minutes from where I lived. And to be honest with you guys, I'm sort of happy that I'm a little bit removed from it. I stayed in another hotel for a couple of nights right when I moved out at the Libra full moon, which was a huge timeline split, by the way. That was a bigger energy shift than I could have ever imagined. But I stayed in another hotel for a few days that was close to where I live, but it didn't have a refrigerator and it didn't have a stove or any kind of kitchen. So I moved into like a suite near where I live, but far enough away that I'm not like driving by my apartment and wondering what's going on. So the interesting thing is, when I started to make the notes for the energies right now, I had to laugh because this is like exactly what's going on in my life. And it probably is what's going on in your life. Not to say that you had mold in your apartment and you had to move out, but the energy right now, and especially what happened at the Libra full moon at the end of April, was a timeline shift. It was a timeline split where our life might have taken a U-turn. We might have had some crazy turn of events. Maybe you took a big leap of faith. Maybe you had some kind of trauma or crisis like what happened to me and you were in somewhat of an emergency situation. Maybe something happened with your job or you had a loved one that crossed over. The energy right now is splitting. It is cracking, and it is propelling us into our new life where we have been reinvented because of all the work that we've done on ourselves. So over the last few videos and over the last few months, I've been talking about all the work that I have done on myself. And what happened at the Libra full moon at this timeline split was I was no longer a vibrational match to my life in that apartment. I wasn't a vibrational match to my belongings. I wasn't a vibrational match to that life. And the energies just catapulted me right on out of there. Sometimes we can call this energy a cosmic 2x4 to the head. It can sometimes really feel like you're being punished or like you've done something wrong. And I had to remind myself many times that was not what was happening, and I am not a victim. But I definitely have had to mourn that old life. So as we transition into a new life, as we transition into 5D consciousness, as we awaken and our old life doesn't resonate with us and we are, transitioning into our new life, it isn't easy, and it doesn't mean that there won't be grief or mourning for your own life, for your old life. And I'm not upset about losing any of my belongings or letting any of my stuff go. I came to terms with that. But I definitely had to mourn the loss of it. It wasn't about the belongings or about any of the stuff in particular, although it was tough to leave my makeup behind. Ooh, that was tough. And I tried to salvage some clothes, but they couldn't be salvaged. And ultimately, when I decided to leave and go to the hotel, I didn't want to bring any of that old toxicity, that mold, that crapola. I didn't want to bring any of that with me. I literally left the baggage behind. And so in one way, I feel like liberated and free through this energy shift. But on the other hand, I definitely have gone through a mourning and grieving process. And I had to allow myself to process through how I was feeling. So if you have just gone through a crazy turn of events, if you have had to take a leap of faith, if you've just had some sort of crisis or trauma, or you are relating to what I'm talking about, I would love to hear what the Libra full moon or what any other energy shift, what it and how it affected your life, what it shifted in your life, what it changed, and how you have changed because of it. I would love to hear whatever you want to share below. So like I said, we've had this big timeline split. We've had this crack happen on the awakening journey, in the collective, in politics, and it is about finding our truth, finding what resonates with us. And I know for myself, I haven't known exactly what this new life will look like. I don't know exactly what my next steps are. I don't know what this journey will look like moving forward right now, and that's okay. The guides have been telling me in this split, in this crack that we're having, in this 3 to 5D shift in consciousness that people are going through, this massive awakening we're having on the planet. There is so much unknowing, and there is so much that is a part of the new perspective that comes with the transformation. So my guides have been reassuring me that I am safe not to know, and that I am safe to step forward in uncertainty, because that will allow me to see things and to experience things differently. So I have made some notes. I'm getting my computer right now. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my computer. I made some notes about May's Ascension Energy, so I didn't forget anything. And when I read this, I'm just gonna have to laugh because I am so going through this right now. And if you're going through this too, please comment below and tell me what is resonating with you. Okay, so this is the notes that I wrote about what this cycle of ascension energy is. It's about clearing out anything that you no longer want to carry with you. Okay, well, right now, I don't really have any belongings. I thought when I would leave my apartment that I would have like my car full of stuff. I have an SUV. I thought it would be like full of all my belongings, and like everything that I took fit on the front seat. And right now, the only clothes that I own that are safe for me to wear fit in a small travel size suitcase. Okay. So the next part, we're gonna laugh here too. Declutter your home, personal belongings, social media, data, and any electronic equipment, your office. So this energy is all about decluttering. Well, I just decluttered my life. Oh, what do you know? Okay, so this is also about breakthroughs in communication. This is about relationships. So there is an highlighted energy right now of make it or break it time in relationships. And I have definitely seen that in my life as I have moved through this trauma and this crisis of the people that were showing up for me and the people that didn't show up for me. And strangers showed up for me, which is really interesting. And there were some relationships that also showed me that they probably weren't going to make it through this circumstance that I've just gone through. So There might be relationships in your life right now that you're not sure if they're going to make it, and that's okay. Remember, I said we're safe not to know right now. Everything will be revealed in divine timing. Okay, so this is also about being emotionally brave, speaking your truth. And I was terrified to post the video about the mold. And I second-guessed myself, and I didn't sleep last night after I posted it. And I still, right now, I'm like, should I take it down? Because I don't want to bring anything negativity or low vibration to my channel, but it also is my real life. And thank you, Jennifer, for the comment that you left about the spiritual toxicity. Yes, what just happened in my life was a metaphor for spiritual toxicity. And it was also a karmic event. And it was so much bigger than just this life. I paid a huge karmic debt when I just walked away from that apartment, my office, from everything there. I paid a karmic debt that was bigger than just even myself, or even just for myself. But that massive declutter is going to allow for the room for me to catapult my life, for me to expand in the direction that I want to go in, a direction that feels right for me. Okay, so let's go on to, and then the video that I posted last night, that was speaking my truth. And today, again, I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to be brave and talk about what I just went through, because I know that so many of us are going through transformations and transitions right now. And I want to provide a safe space for you to share and know that you're not alone. Okay. So the other part of this energy is about feeling into the silence. Oh, and this has been so hard, especially when I've been in fear. In the silence, and if you've had an energy session with me, you know, if you've had a reading, that we feel into the silence, we allow for those sacred moments of silence. Silence creates possibilities. And in that in-between, in that silence, we can find peace. We can also read the energy. That's what I wrote too, that in the silence, we can read the energy. And in May, it's super important as we navigate our way into our new 5D timelines, that we be able to read the energy and trust our intuition. Okay, so manifestation right now is, I wrote, effortless, so be careful. We can manifest unwanted experiences very easily via fear and being in the mental level in this energy, because the energy moves so quickly. The other thing that's sort of fascinating is that I was describing this to a friend of mine today, about how I feel like the bubbles got to burst with this energy. Like it sort of intensifies and intensifies and magnifies and it magnifies, and the pressure grows and grows and grows. And then there will be a planetary alignment like the Libra full moon, and then boom, catapulted to a new life, right? But it sort of seems to got to reach its like tipping point. There's an energy here that is like wants to tip over. Creating space so that the new can arrive. And this can be really scary. I mean, I just created more space in my life than I have ever created before. I just let my whole old life go because it wasn't a vibrational match to me anymore. And so you might be asked or being shown, or your guides might be nudging you to release or to declutter or to make room or to make space for the new. And we might not know what that new is. Remember, I was saying we're in a space of the unknown because we have done all this work on ourselves and we're just starting to discover who we are now. Okay. So in this month, in this ascension cycle, lunar cycle, the cycle of Taurus, it is a great time to do grounded projects like starting a new hobby, taking a class, actually doing something tangible in the 3D that is in the realm of your passion. Because there is so much energy for this passion that is along with inspired action. There is so much energy for it to bloom, grow, blossom, and manifest something beautiful in your life. Whenever my throat does this, we know it's super important, whatever I'm saying. Okay, so the last things that I wrote. Okay, the energy, we've had so many solar flares over the last couple of weeks, and so many people in sessions have been saying, I feel so weird, and all of this anxiety and confusion and that weird buzzy feeling that can happen when we have solar flares. It can make electronics really glitchy. It can make our body and our electromagnetic field really glitchy. And it can also sort of build where we like feel like buzzy and tingly and anxiety, and then it bursts, and then we feel the euphoria because the light bombs have cleared out the toxic debris. So we're feeling the effects still from the electromagnetic flares and from the geostorms. I think there will be a couple more activations from photon light packages over the next couple of weeks that are very specifically meant to awaken our intuition and transform our home life, our relationships, help us so that we don't settle for less, so that we honor ourselves, so we don't slip back into that place of anxiety. And this is such a massive shift that it is going to bring such clarity that it changes our perception about everything. This is what I wrote. This shift awakens and brings massive clarity and changes perceptions about everything. So it's like we have to let go of whatever we thought we knew. We have to let go of whatever we thought it was going to look like. Never in a million years, on April 7th, when I was officially told that there was toxic mold in my apartment and that it was uninhabitable, never in a million years did I think at the beginning of May I would have literally walked away from everything and be living in a hotel. And every plan that I had, everything that I thought was going to be happening, it all changed in the blink of an eye. And I have been talking about how 5D does this, but when you actually experience it, it can be very unsettling. So it is really awesome to hear that there are so many more thriving codes coming through planetary alignments and solar flares. So thank you, universe. Thank you, guides and angels. We appreciate the upgrades. Okay, so the last thing that I wrote is what Archangel Michael told me and has been telling me, and that is easier said than done, but I feel deep within my heart and deep within my soul, it feels and rings true as truth, that it is time to let go of the old because far better is coming. And that darn mold was holding me back, keeping me down. And I have been liberated from it. And I can't see what exactly the details are of the better that's coming, but I can see the gold light and I can feel the sunshine. So if you have gone through a hard time, or if this transitional period has kicked your butt, if it has dropped you into dark night of the soul, know that the sun is coming out again, and that this energy shift is leading us to our real life. So I'm sending everyone so much love. Namaste, everyone. See you in the next video. Lots of love.